Good evening, everyone. My name is Bintang. I am from Class D, Faculty of Letters. Now I will tell a story about the billionaire. The king of steel, of petroleum, and all the other kings of United States have always in high degree excited my power of imagination. It seemed to me certain that these people who possess so much money could not be like other mortals. Each of them, so I said to myself, must call his own, at least 3 stomachs and 150 teeth. I did not doubt that the millionaire ate without intermissions. From 6 o'clock in the morning till midnight, it goes without saying, the most exquisite and sumptuous viands. Toward evening, then, he must be tired of the hard chewing to such a degree that so I pictured to myself he gave order to his servants to digest the meals that he had swallowed with satisfaction during the day. Completely limp, covered with sweat and almost suffocated, he had to be put to bed by his servants, in the order that on the next morning at 6 o'clock he might be able to begin again his work of eating. Nevertheless, it must be impossible for such a man, whatever pain he might take, to consume merely the half of the interest of his wealth. To be sure, such a life is awful, but what is one to do for what is one a millionaire? What am I saying? A billionaire, if one cannot eat more than every other common mortal, I picture to myself that this privilege being workload of gold underclothing, shoes with gold nails, and instead of a hat, a diadem of diamonds on his head. His clothes, made of the most expensive velvet, must be at least 50 feet long and fastened with 300 gold buttons. And on holiday, he must be compelled by dear necessity to put on offer each other 6 pairs of costly trousers. Such a costume is certainly very uncomfortable, but if one is rich like that, one can't after all dress like all the world. The pocket of a billionaire I picture to myself so big that there easily a church or the whole senate could find room. The pounds of such a gentleman I conceive to myself like the hull and and an ocean steamer, the length and breadth of which I was not able to think out of the bulk too of the billionaire. I could never give myself a clear idea, but I suppose that the coverlet under which he slept would measure 1,100 square yards. If he chews tobacco, it was unquestionable only the best kind, of which he always stick 2 pounds at a time into his mouth. And on taking snuff, I thought to myself, he must use up a pound at a pinch. Indeed, money will be spent. His finger must possess the magic power of lengthening at will. In spirit, I saw a New York billionaire as he stretched out his hand across Bering Strait and bought a dollar that had rolled somewhere towards Siberia, without especially exerting himself thereby. Curiously, I could form to myself no clear conception of the head of this monster. In this organism, consisting of gigantic muscle and bones that is made for squeezing money out of all things. A head seemed to me really quite superfluous. Who now can conceive my astonishment when standing facing one of these fabulous beings, I arrived at the conviction that a billionaire is human being like all the rest. I saw the comfortably reclining in an armchair along with wise-knit old man who held his brown, sinewy hands folded across a body of quite ordinary dimension. The flabby skin of his face was carefully shaped. The underlip, which hung loosely down, covered solidly built jaws, in which gilded teeth were stuck. The upper lip, smooth, narrow, and pallid, secretly moved up, moved though. Then, when the old man spoke, colorless eyes with brows perfectly bald cool. It might be tough that a little skin was wanting to this reddish face, to this countenance that was expressionless and puckered like that one newborn. What this being just beginning its life, or was it already nearing its end? Nothing in his dress distinguished him from the ordinary mortal. A ring, a watch, and his teeth were all the gold he carried with him, sacredly half a pound all told. Taken altogether, the appearance of the man recalled that of an old servant of an aristocratic family in Europe. The furnishing of the room is which he received me had nothing unusually luxurious about it. The furniture was solid, that is all that can be said. Oftentimes, elephants probably comes into this house. I involuntarily thought at the sight of the heavy, substantially piece of furniture. Are you the billionaire? I asked, since I could not trust my eyes. Yes, indeed, he answered, nodding convincingly with his head. How much meat can you consume for breakfast? I eat not meat in the morning. He afforded a quarter on of orange in on milk, an egg, a small cup of tea, that's all. His innocent child eyes blinked with feeble luster, like two drops of muddy water. Good, I began again, half disconcerted, but be honest with me. Tell me the truth. How often in the day do you eat? Twice, he answered peacefully. Breakfast and dinner suffice me. At noon, I take soup, a little white meat, vegetable, fruit, and cup of coffee, a cigar. Surprised, grew apace. I drew breath, and went on. But if that's true, what do you do with your money? Make more money? What for? To make more money of that? What for? I repeat. He leaned towards me, his hand supported by the arm of his chair, and with some curiosity in his expression, he said, "You probably cracked." And you said, "And you?" I said. The old man inclined his head and whistling softly through through the gold of his teeth, he said, "Draw walk. You're the first human being of your species that I ever became acquainted with." Then he bent his